welcome the family into the church.
We pray that as we gather, mighty Father, as the family, mighty God, is in this deep sickness, it is you, Lord, who will comfort them. We call unto the Most High God, who is able to do all things beyond that which he can perceive. It is in your heart, my Lord, that they must find all the comfort, and even, my God, to be strengthened in this time. For, Lord, they have lost one who used to be the head of the family. So we believe, mighty God, all the speakers will come through, my Father. They will be led by your Spirit. And all the words, my Father, of comfort will bring them, my Father, to a position of peace. And the peace shall settle them, my God, for your glory. We thank you, Father, as you allow these proceedings to take place. And all those that are here, my Lord, will honor you in glory. We ask in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
To say me, Yehova malidunyiswe, udumiswa malumekwise, nakuye unyana, nakuyu moya wo ingcwele nje. Ngoba kwakunjalo kwasekuqaleni, kunjalo kunje kwakuya kumana kube njalo kude kube kuna phakade. Amen, amen, amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Ra leboga moruti le choir. Viva ANC, viva. Long live the African National Congress, long live. Viva South African Communist Party, viva. Viva Kosatu, viva. Viva Sanko, viva. Wa tinta bafazi. Wa tinta bafazi. Roar, young lions, roar. Roar, young lions, roar. Long live the undying spirit of Khabisi Mosunkuthu, long live. Long live the dying spirit of Khabisi Mosunkuthu, long live. Members of the Mosunkuthu family, my sister Usnonaba Mosunkuthu, Kirumilise, the clergy, the leadership and the membership of the church, Baruti, Bishop, members of the national executive here present, of the ANC, members of the Provincial Executive Committee of the African National Congress in Gauteng, the members of the Regional Executive Committee, the leadership of the ANC Women's League in the province, led by Jovicho, leadership of the Youth League in the province, led by Tasnim, let me greet the leadership of Zone 11, where Comrade Khab stayed and participated, the leadership and membership of Eric Mulobi branch, of course, the host branch, Michael Maponya, and the neighboring branch in Pete Mosaka. I'd like to greet the leadership and membership of the Communications Workers Union, led by the General Secretary here, Comrade Aubrey Chabalala. The leadership of COSATU, here present. I see the General Secretary is here, Comrade Nchalinchali. The membership and the leadership of the South African Communist Party here present, led by the Provincial Chair, Comrade John Pesi, the leadership and membership of the South African National Civic Association. Let me greet the leadership of the Taxi Association here present. I saw them yesterday, they went to the house to say Chisampama na Chisampama ira mutlompama. However, I would like to pass my special greetings to those comrades who serve with Brachabs, Kopotwa, Post and Telecommunications Workers Association, at the Soweto Civic Association, and the United Democratic Front. MPs present, members of the provincial legislature present, and councillors. Of course, former colleagues of Brachabs in the legislature, in the National Assembly, residents of Soweto, Johannesburg, Gauteng, Dumela. We are here to memorialize and commemorate a life well lived, a life steeped in service to humanity, a life dedicated to selfless service to the people of South Africa, a well-rounded fighter for liberation, a true veteran and legend of our struggle, and of course, an active actor in the construction of a new and democratic South Africa. This is one person who was selfless, who put the people before self, who said, liberation of my people comes first to myself. We're coming to celebrate a life well lived. Long live Brachabs, long live. Long live Brachabs, long live. Comrades, we started very late. I'm going to request the following people to come on stage because I'm going to call them like a queue marshal at the taxi rank to come and speak. Because Santako is here. Comrade Pexi Jafta, who's the Secretary of Zone 11, please come. Chris Lehana, please come. A tribute by an ex-colleague will be done by Comrade Mary Metcalf. Please come on stage. And Egi, I think it's Egi Maki. Please come. For the protocol, out straight, you have to go 30 steps. You don't come straight to the cross. You go, communists, you go around like this. You don't come straight. Keep protocol, yeah. Iran's bata comrade, as I welcome Comrade Pexi to come and give us a welcoming address. We shall kwiche one fella, one verse ya kwiche. Yaba Civic.
The life of this revolutionary Comrade Khabisi Mosunkuthu. Makabane, as we are saddened by his passing on, we are content in knowing that he was one of us. He was the one that was in the forefront, making sure that ANC becomes in power in 1994. Born in the 1950s, comrades, when the material conditions needed men and women that were equal to the task of dismantling apartheid. He was very, very conscious, although he was very, very young. And the 60s also, they were also not leaving a space, a free space for someone not to be conscious of all the oppressive laws that were meted to us as Africans by the apartheid rule. That is why he became so very instrumental in making sure that he becomes part and parcel of all the masses that were there to make sure that liberation is obtained. As we are saddened, we are also very, very much content in having met him in our lifetime. Remember, Comrade Mosunkuthu was one of the founder members of COSATU in 1985 and also of UDF, SANCO, and all the others. He was not only concerned about the ones that I've mentioned. He was also a shop steward at some point, and the workers, they were having unshakable trust in him. So, comrades, as you are welcomed here as the ANC, we want to have one message to all of us to say, let us emulate the character, the impeccable character that Comrade Khabisi displayed in his lifetime. He has run his race, the race of making sure that ANC remains in power. And what is then left for us, Makaban? We need to make sure that as and when we contest the election terrain, we should be visible to those that we are leading. We should also be there with our communities to make sure that to make sure that the ANC remains in power. So, comrades, I'm sure today we are going to be subjected to a political education in the life of Comrade Khabisi. So you are all very much welcome. Feel free and make sure that we become political giants from the lectures that we are going to receive here. Amandla.
Thank you, Comrade Pexi. Can I request the following people to come on stage? Mr. Thabiso Mleleko, Ms. Mamorwa, Hololo or Kololo. Bate, le Os Egi Agnes Maki. Bate, okay. And finally, Comrade Mary. On behalf of the neighbors,
greetings in the wonderful name of my Savior, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Yes, I stand here and can greet you this way because Mosunkuthu is pastor and my neighbor, so I can stand and greet like that. Amen. And I'm in the presence, the holy presence here. Amen. I've come here as a neighbor and a colleague, Mosunkuthu. I've known them since 2005, I think. Yeah, since 2005. But just before I get into the matter, can I just say all protocol observed and Pamili, ANC, Pamili. Viva ANC, viva! Yes. When we moved to the young neighborhood, I think they were the first, among the first people to stay in that area, Sekibla Park. I have a son. We knew them through their son, Omnane Utsito. My son, Papa, they became friends. Because when we bought the house there, he always wanted a swimming pool. So we didn't have a swimming pool. So he scouted around for friends and he found Utsito and he could go and swim. So with that, I knew these are nice people and kind people, because he would come home and tell me, "With your mom, Mosunkuthu right kanjani? Hey, Mosunkuthu nice, siyalapha siyaswima." And they went for several times before I even met the parents. So when I got to know them, I realized that abantu aba right, because where we are, sometimes you keep to yourself. Because I remember when I first went there, I went around and greeted people, and everybody looked at me like, "Where is this one from?" Then I shied away from it. But when I knew that I could interact with them, it made our life easier. So we relate to Mosunkuthu as Umaki, and that's what we call each other. Maki this, Maki that. When there's something, Maki awubheke lapho, Maki uboneni, Maki kwenzakalani. And we've lived like that, and we knew that they are there for us, even in tough times. You know, when people banama positions, especially in society, especially political, you sometimes fear what they may not relate to you, but they came to our level. We could talk to them, and we would know that they are there for us. I remember also when we went there, I think he was the MEC of transport, and there were police, and for me, well, maybe for them it was bad. For me, I felt it was good that she's safe somewhere. So we knew him like that, and yeah, I just want to say they are great neighbors. I've met Mr. Mosunkuthu a few times, not many times, I must be honest, but the few times that I've met him, he's been generous, he's been kind. He spoke to us like uyakwazi, like forever, you know, because Mosunkuthu is a very free person. We could talk and relate in many ways. So I want to say, as a community, we have lost. As a community, sikhala nabaka Mosunkuthu, but I was comforted when I came here to praise, because we are celebrating a life well lived. A life yomuntu osebenzile for the community, not only the community, but also the country. Fighting a political war is not an easy, it's not for everyone, but it's for those abanamandla. That's why kunale ngoma ithi makwala achechele morao. Buya rona bapilutse thata kopile. I think it was one of those who went forward and fought, and I just want to say, mitiro iyabulabula. We can see today that people are gathered here during festives, during times when they could be celebrating with their families to celebrate him. So I want to thank them as neighbors, and I'm also bringing our condolences as neighbors. I want to say to the family that according to Romans 8, verse 38, it says nothing should separate you from the love of God. When the father of the house is gone, you have another father in our Father, Lord Jesus, who will be there with you forever. Talking from experience, and I know that he will carry you through and see you through. With these few words, I say, may God strengthen you and keep you. Amen.
Amanda, viva ANC, viva.
Amen. Ke a le dumedisa ka lebitso la morena rona Jesu Kriste o emeng mo ke Pastor Khololo. Ke representa faith-based organization mo Gauteng province. Re bereka ka motlase ga mme Nandi Mayathola. Mo Joburg re bereka ka motlase ga mme Thandi Mdlalose le chairperson ya rona eleng Bishop Debe. And then ke tsamaya le executive ya faith-based organization. I just want to acknowledge and greet all the leadership tsa mekgatlo e fapaneng le leadership ya ANC I just want to acknowledge all of you, and then we acknowledge the leadership, yeah, the churches, and the leadership, yeah, Kereke Erelenka Mokharayona, Elim Bishop Odwana, to be welcome in this place. Before Kitro, Kemela to encourage the family of Mosunkuthu, really faith-based organization. I just want to, in short, to explain about a faith-based organization. Kimkhatlo, Onkan, Ditumelo Kaufela, Resebeta, really mo Joburg, Resebeta, really Ekululene, Resebeta, really Tswana, Resebeta, really Kosidibe, Resebeta, really mo Gauteng province. And then Musebetsi Warona, it is to stand in a gap for the nation. Kirona rapedisang dilo tsotlhe tse tsagalang mo the nation ya rona. Gore gangata re ke rona the first contact go the community because re kopana le batho ba mefuta-futa go di worship centers tsa rona. So re eme mo ka letsatsi la kajeko re gopola the husband, the brother, the uncle, the comrade, Mosunkuthu. The whole week, everyone has been talking about purpose in Musebetsi wa gagwe a sebeditse. Le rona re le faith-based organization, re sebeditse le ene, even if it was not really a more faith-based organization. Like nna kwa ke le shop steward ko region G, re berekile le ene ko agriculture. So many people ba berekile le ene. At this point in time, Remembrance to head the health department, a faith-based organization. Now, as I was thinking about Mosunkuthu, I always hear people bare, marakse bone anywhere, gore ngwetse go kae, mara ke utlwa batho bare, motho mo lo mo hatla mo lefatsheng, o tla ha a tshwere purpose ya gagwe mo letsogong. Now, when Mosunkuthu, and maybe it might be so painful for the family that they have lost the father, they have lost the brother, they have lost the husband. But Rona Harushebella, who dirile Musebetsi wa hae, and they are half etsa Musebetsi wa hae, abuela go oneng amurumile gore a tlo sebetsa. Now the question that I ask myself, and the question that I ask yourself, for on your last day, what are people going to say about you? How is your lefatsheng? Na o tla be o setse wentse purpose ya gago na. Because what we do always, re khombana ka menwana, re blame somebody else when something is going wrong. What about yourself? How do you contribute, especially in your community? I think time has come that we stop pointing fingers and take our positions in our communities. Now, somebody said the other day, now people, it's something that people are saying. People die twice. The first time we bury a person physically, maybe like a tree, Mosunkuthu. The second time, if we want to bury him, is when we stop talking about whatever that he has done. So, but baba sebileng lefatshe la rona, ga ra tshwana go ba bolaya. Mewa ya bona e tshwanetse go dula ntse e phela. Mabitso a bona a tshwanetse go dulwa a ntse a gopolwa gore ba kile ba seva setšhaba sa rona. So when Mosunkuthu, there are those people, we're not supposed to kill them the second time. We bury physically, but spiritually we will continue to remember them. Now, to conclude, I just want to speak to my sister, Mema Mosunkuthu. I think we spoke to you, really raukhotaza. Hore Modimo ke Modimo o sa fetogeng, Modimo ke Modimo o tsebang tsotlhe. Auna nix eta mo modimo ka accident. There is no coincidence mo modimo. Everything is according to his plan. Now, I think I always tell people, Gary, some of us, when we lost our husbands, the question was, what is next? And what is next was when God was saying to us, I told you that I will be your husband. I told you that I'll be the father to your children. Now, as I'm standing here, I always tell people, I feel like a queen because me and my husband is the Father who owns heaven and earth. The one that said he will never leave us nor forsake us. That is the husband. Our Father is going to be your husband. He's already your husband. Now, as I conclude, you know, what I'm going to say to you, Kohore, you are at the point of the plans that have changed. Before the 24th, you had a lot of plans. But the plans, they were not analized in the city of Mudimu. Mudimu will interrupt. Mudimu will change the planet alone. So, how will like many people, as I'm standing here, I never thought I can be called a widow. Some other people are standing there, never said or lost their loved ones. But when this time comes, this is God's time. And unale khona change purpose ya rona, change the planet for his own plans. Like the Bible says, the plan that God has for us is not to destroy us, but it is to prosper us. He said he will never leave you, he will never forsake you. And God is a promise-keeping God. God is a covenant-keeping God. If he says something, he stands, he never changes. And he will do that for yourselves. May God bless all of you. Hallelujah.
Pastor, according to my stopwatch here, I was supposed to stop, Pastor. I can't stop the Bible, because I was stop more. So I wanted to stay on the highway, on the freeway. Comrades, let's welcome Kakwe Chechisan, the former member of the Provincial Executive Committee, former MEC, ex-colleague of Comrade Khabs, a leader in the education sector, El Professor Mary Metcalf, to come and say a few words. Kakwe Chechisan.
our Lord Jesus Christ. It's a great honor and a great sadness for me to be together with Khabisi's two families, with his family, Nonkaba, and all of the beloved members of the family, but also with the family of the ANC. I want to say that I'm very sad that Comrade Amos Masondo could not be here today to pay tribute to Khabisi, because in all of the years that I worked with Khabisi, Comrade Masondo and Comrade Khabs were like two brothers who stood as outstanding leaders, who led the community of Soweto, who played a leadership role in the Gauteng province and the PWV region before that. It was a great honor for me to work with Comrade Khabisi from the 1980s to when we were together in the PEC from 1992 and then in the Gauteng legislature and the cabinet after 1994. Comrade Khabisi was a person who worked with huge courage, with commitment to the liberation of this country. He was a person who worked with massive integrity, who always operated on the basis of principle. And he is the person, together with many others of that generation, who gave us this opportunity that we have today to build our country for a better life for all of our people. Comrade Khabisi worked very hard and always stayed connected to the people. During the 1980s, in the early 90s, he always worked hard to understand the frustrations of ordinary people, to be able to express those frustrations, and with his fine understanding of what our political struggle was about, to turn that frustration into expressions of hope. And because of that hard work, he built trust not only in himself as a leader, but trust in our movement. And it's that trust in our movement that continues to propel the possibility of the ANC continuing to work to change the life of our people. He was committed to building leadership. He was committed to building the youth. And I believe that one of the most important things that we can say today as we commemorate and honor the life of Khabisi is that that victory must not be squandered. That trust must not be squandered. That we need to continue to stay connected to the people, to work with courage and commitment for the benefit and improvement in the life of all people. Khabisi was a very good friend of mine. The way I have the greatest and fondest memories of him is sitting together in the legislature. In the legislature, you sit for many hours. There's many debates happening. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of anger. And I was always very privileged to sit with Khabisi, to have moments of humor, to be able to receive his critique and his criticism, and always to benefit from his wisdom and his maturity. I didn't know Khabisi when he was a teenager, but I think that he was born mature. I can't imagine Khabisi ever being anything other than wise, solid, a leader, a mature person. What's amazing about Khabs and his generation was that they sacrificed so much without any thought of a reward. There was no soon to be in government sense, but he sacrificed in order to do what he believed was the right thing. And today I think that for me in particular, we have to honor the family who supported him through all of that, through all of the years when it was tough. When Khabisi was in his early 30s and was a young father, a young husband, I know that there were absences from the family because he was doing the right thing, because he was building for the future. I'm here with my friend Barbara Masekela, and she showed me a poem as we were waiting, and I'd like to read the final stanza of that poem. It's a poem that's worth finding on the internet. It's called For My People by Margaret Walker. Let a new earth rise, let another world be born. Let a bloody peace be written in the sky. Let a second generation full of courage issue forth. Let a people loving freedom come to growth. Let a beauty full of healing and strength, of final clenching be the pulsing in our spirits and our blood. Let the martial songs be written, let the dirges disappear. Let a race of people now rise and take control. Long live the spirit of Comrade Khabs, long live. Thank you.
Comrades, on that note, let's acknowledge the presence of our veteran Ambassador Comrade Barbara Masekela. She's sitting somewhere at the back there. Raudumerisa me Masekela, Comrade Raudumerisa. And I'm told that in our midst we have Acting Secretary of Mpumalanga, Comrade Lindiwe Nchalinchali. You acknowledge too, Comrade, former Mayor of Emalahleni of Witbank, former Deputy President of Salga. You are welcome, Comrade. Let's welcome, before we get into the political program, a tribute from a family rep, Tate Sahani. After he, sure.
I'd like to take this opportunity to greet the leadership of Zoe Bible Church, Bishop President Botswana, and all the leadership. And secondly, I'd like to greet family Mosunkuthu. Family Mosunkuthu. And once again, I'd like to greet the leadership of African National Congress and all the branches and all people by Soweto and all South Africa at large. I stand here as a father, as a son-in-law, in fact, to come and speak about the life of my father-in-law. You know, firstly, I didn't want to accept that on behalf of family. But family Mosunkuthu, I feel honored that they insisted to got the life of Mr. Khabisi Mosunkuthu. I am emotional because I was like, David, Alafua Siaparo, face Goliath. And somehow he felt, and this Siaparo Sena Sankimel. So Lena as a son-in-law, Siaparo son-in-law, and stand here as a son to this great man. I could go on and on if I could even write a book. I've known him, God, it's almost 10 years now, Kimutsibile before 10 years here, but close relationship, it's been more than 10 years, Kimutsib. And I can know Mona now as a son. I'm actually touched because, and I also want to say to me, Chaba, Tito, and Bule. Gentlemen, I actually want to say to you thank you that you've allowed me to come and speak about the life of your father. I actually feel honored, guys. Nowadays, how about to now, to fast track this relationship, I've known him ilimuto ratang family aha. Aholu kapilo hai kaufe. And I came in Mona because I'm one of his sons. The way anarata family hai kate. He adopted me to be his son because he used to say to me, Mkhwenya, hao mkhwenya na mona ngwanak. And at times I would feel, oh no man, I'm roping Tito to Miss Chaba, Bulelo, Queen, opportunity to have that love from their father. But I realized, oh no, Ntwana yeta, kinta yenteng, si Chaba South Africa kaufe. He took time to love South Africa. He took time to love his organization. And that made me to really honor him and say, if ukakhona amoela the way killing kate in your family and prefer ufita bana ba hao, and akibui hampi, but he was saying to me, no, wena ungwanaka, nyetsi mradi waka ungwanaka, umkhwenyana mo. Now, how come rate Khabs at lo hlokafa? Una le dintho tse etsaetseng before. Tell her no, I can share mrao. Ki tsola go no man. There were signs or no usantsa bona tsela ya hae. One of those signs is called no. His son to me. He was frequenting Kohai, like Achaka Kohai. And the one thing that made me to realize, oh no, okay, he passed on. Then I look back quickly and say, okay, who believe the signs? But because now I was at peace. The money going through pain high. I was actually the person Anamisa Dispetel, sometimes hard Tito, I travel overseas, Chaba. Alim 17, to me alim 17. I mean, Nekikhona unka offer arehun namkhonyan. To me hayo Chaba hayo, Tito hayo kikopa o kinale appointment ya physio kai. Then I'll take off come 17 to take him there. And one thing that he kept on saying to me, Korono, wabona ntonse kibu. Haumkhonyana ka wena ungwanaka. I mean, kile Free State, moi kohaba na Free State, ke mo driver ya mo. And arehonna ke batla go tsebe setšhaba saka, ke batla go tsebe setšhaba sa heno, wena o ngwana ka wena. So hato asanta to hlokafa. One beat one day or no, mkhwenyana tlokwa. So o fita go nna ke kopa o hlokomele Tito, o hlokomele Tumi, o hlokomele setšhaba, o hlokomele bana beno. And I didn't understand or no, o batla hore. Then I felt pressure or no, ke batla hore no, ke step back hanyane, ke fe bana ba hae opportunity to spend nako le ntate wa bona. And he kept on saying, no, aksa o bona mona hae, o etsala eng. Ke re no ntse ke le teng. Then how it's allowed to keep on it to me are frequent. I was at peace because Kiona Twenty Batla we born it. So now before I touch a fala, una le sign we abubate where Allah medication no kunkama. I don't feel like taking medication anymore because what's the point of taking this medication? I don't believe in medication that much. Then I'm like, no, Papi, you need to take medication so you can be strong. I don't know, I'm strong. Ubona kili jwangwe. Ubona kili wiki. No, I don't only wiki. All I'm saying, no, take medication in our house so that you must be strong. I've been in struggle for years, right? Neki tamaya matati with pain. I know this is nothing to me because Jariles Chabasa South Africa ka fair. Now, signing we aboraro korno ake bona batata, you know, bamu visita. And I got worried to this visitation thing, why all of a sudden but was about visitor to this match. Kireno I na erekito continue but barata comrade to abona, but barata wanabona bamu visita, you know. So on the day when he passed on, Nikita Tauke Nagakoloi and Kabona something strange happening. But in all these things that are long, I was at peace to say, you know, I've seen signs, but Kinako I don't know keep at peace because he was at peace there. Now, on the day Hashokafa, who to know refone the ambulance. And I'm like, okay, ambulance is now to start on and to everything, I'm calm, I'm at peace. I'm like, no, I can see what's all but now I'm at peace. So until Kutlapi, I don't know, faith. So, dintote la kaufela tene dietaha, kadi Kutla honna kaufela no mutona uboni designs, and you were at peace. Lehana ubitite, and he was at peace. And ufile message you know, hlokomela your brothers, hlokomela bana bahe. And nanex understand, but hey, kamera we talent to kakiba at peace. Lorno o hloka faith, but o hloka faletse hae, o hloka faletse betenya hae, o hloka faletse ka tunya hae, o hloka faletse jartinya hae, lorno o jwetite everyone lorno mena I'm at peace. So to cut the story short and also to end my tribute to my father-in-law, I want to say this to my mother-in-law. Mama, he used to say, Ngapsi, you know. I'm going to how sekulisi, ubite me wa how Ngapsi. Kire no but it's ibi man to Nangasi yet. I'm not to combite Haps because it's Waka Haps, me wa how, it's Waka Ngapsi, you know. So Ngapsi Kikupa Wena today. Koboni, Urata Munawa how. Urata Chabasa, South Africa, Urata Kereke Aha. Kopa no telepili weten to you. Ononto Yeta, Urata family how they will not to Ratakati. To family Mosunkuthu, especially Banabahai, Tatwalunal Rati Lebafetu, Nunu, to me, Kopa little pili, because Nadula Honna, I wish you were not struggle, Sekas Felimo. Banabaka batwele pili ka ntweni nteki yethu to family Mosunkuthu as a whole and Civic family ke kopa gore no re nne re tswele pili re rataneng the way Ntate Khabisi Mosunkuthu ana re rata ka teng to ANC African National Congress Comrade Khabs o ratile South Africa before a rata ANC ka pelo ya hae kaofela and ke kopa gore no le tswele pili legacy ya hae Iskafella Mona, to all you know organizations, Telo non Tate Khabisi Mosunkuthu, Usebedi Teleton, ke kopa rene re tswele pele ka that ethical leadership legacy. I see it in South Africa because this man, he was a man of ethics. Aki hopulin honalin twengole enogonane kitsamale. Onayeta ero. Every time I remember the other day, I realized our is scratching. So, the processor claiming a speedy, the clarieta is a honamona this day. Aram Quenya. Not colonial. Hayaita Halant Monantry. Ibilen Nakitlanga Cheletiak, Kilolukisa Koloye, Yakakayo. Because a ya etsahala the way wena o batlang gono e etsaetse ka teng. A re nna ke batlo ipona ke le dipampiring ka osane ore no o defraudile insurance a lo lokisa koloi ya hae. So ke motho ona o na rata ntho tse straight, o na rata batho ba honest, and he was honest himself. And ka mantswe ao ke kopa hore a re tsweleng pele re hlompheng di-position tse re di fuwang, a re hlompheng maemo a rona setjhabeng, re hlompheng maemo a rona in our families, re hlompheng maemo a rona in our country, so that country ya rona e kgone hore no legacy ya Ntate Khabisi Mosunkuthu e nne tswele pele, legacy ya ethical leadership. Ka mantswe ao ke kopa hore no re re amandla, amandla, viva Comrade Khab, viva. Ke a leboha.
Chris. As we continue with the acknowledgements, what to acknowledge the executive mayor of Rand West Municipality. Lutsense Baiki Kaji Kukeriano. Waperiaga Mayor, Comrade Mzi. We have colleagues of, we've got MECs present here, members of the Executive Council. I've seen Comrade Nandi Mayatula Koza, he acknowledged. I saw Comrade Ishmael Vadi, he acknowledged, and a member of the National Executive Committee, the MEC for Health in Gauteng, Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, you are acknowledged. I'm told that Comrade Kit Stoll is around. Dumela Comrade Kit. Viva. Comrade Billy Masetla. Welcome, Comrade. You are acknowledged. The Deputy Secretary of the African National Congress in Gauteng Province, Comrade Nomantu. You are acknowledged. The Regional Secretary of the ANC in Greater Johannesburg, Comrade Dara Morero, you are acknowledged. Can the following comrades please come to the podium? We're moving now to the political program. We're trying to push as fast as we can. Comrade Faith Mazibogo, MEC for Entertainment, Fun and Sports. Please come. Comrade John PC and Comrade SKT, Comrade Obrichawalan. Please come to the podium. I don't know, I didn't get the name for the rep for the ANC Youth League and Mkonto Wesis, the military veterans. So Comrade Darren Joli, Ngasha ya Sabelo ya Bizwa lapha. Shani kwichima kom. Amandla! Amandla! Viva ANC, viva! Viva African National Congress, viva! Viva Sanko, viva! Viva COSATU, viva! Viva South African Communist Party, viva! Viva ANC Youth League, viva! Viva ANC Women's League, viva! Long live the veterans, long live! Ripeleleng the veterans, ripeleleng! Comrades, as we continue with our program, I would like to call to the podium the chairperson of the ANC Women's League in this great province of Gauteng. Who is also the MEC. I even forgot proper title because I'm the MEC for Entertainment of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation. Comrade Faith Mazivo could come and say, pay tribute to Comrade Tavito.
Comrade Khabisi Mosunkuthu.
Mosunkuthu, long live. Long live the spirit Khabisi Mosunkuthu, long live. Amandla. Amandla. Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Watinda bafazi. Watinda bafazi. Basopa. Basopa. Thank you very much, Program Director. Mbingelele abafundisi ngokushiyana kwenu ngazo zonke izitulo zenu. Nalesiyana esihle lesingathi asikhosini. Mbingelele umndeni uMama Nonqaba, who is also our spiritual healer, our spiritual leader, umama esithembe kuye njalo nje ngaso sonke isikhathi uma ngabe sixakekene nezingxaki zethu njengabantu besifazana. Ngibingelele umndeni wonke okhona namhlanje. Ngibingelele leadership ye-ANC kausiyana haluna ka ditulo tsa lona ke dimedise le alliance kaofela
civil society, from the trade union movement, and every other person who's here, all protocols observed. Malbongwe kamalama koskas malbongwe. Amandla. Program director, namhlanje we are gathered here as much as we 28. You can still feel abantu basahleze Christmas seniors. Akuna vavavum nje tu apa esontweni. Yazi ngenkaza kaGabsi wayezonibuza uthi akuna bhokisi elilelela. Kutheni nanyaba kangaka? Nani ngavuka nje nibonise uComrade Gabsi wayene anarchy ma comrade. Wayene anarchy lisikamone nkarina lukile nasaluka. Kuri na iqala no beyisuka nibuzwe laba bakapoto bazontshela kancane. Sibingelele nabo baba be taxi association abakhona nabo mama. Thina ke ANC Women's League sithi ngempela silahlekelwe ubaba uKhabisi Mosunkuthu. He was one of those gentle giants who was a leader, who was a father, who was everything to all of us as young women who were growing up in the ANC Youth League. Mina ngiqala umazi ngiseseka ANC Youth League. He is one of those leaders who never discriminated against anyone. Bekangathi lamantombazana la afunana asho kubo Mathidiso. Mathidiso was one of those young women ebebehlala naye la ePimville. He was able to even educate through political education and any other thing, was able to assist in educating our young women. He recognized the role of women in the liberation struggle. He recognized that there is triple oppression when it comes to the issues of women. He knows that women were oppressed in society, were oppressed at the workplace, and they were also oppressed even in their own families. As president of Potwa, he also fought and acknowledged that women must also get maternity leave. I wonder how many of us can even still remember Uguti, how many months is maternity leave? It was our Comrade Gabsi who fought that it must be 6 months maternity leave with that is paid. I le 4 months esibona namhlanje. Sithemba ukuthi khosathu ngoba ikhona la namhlanje. Isazoqhubha la uComrade Gabsi washiya khona. In ensuring that women are paid their full 6 months, not only 4 months and the other 2 months in the option yokuthi uhambe uyofuna imali ka-UIF. He was able to make sure that women stayed at home and took care of their babies. They are also entitled to a paternity leave. But Tina, as women, we say, we acknowledge the role that he played. He made sure that women are also paid equal salaries. You will recall Uguti Post Office used not to employ women. It was only employing men, even as technicians at Telkom. But if you go to Telkom today, you'll find even young women who are technicians. Without discrimination, but it is one of those things that he made sure that they do take place within the sector. I remember in one of the marches that he was leading, Sumachele Proti Magistrate Court. Hey, Wakalis Pam, Sabalega Sonke. He stood there. He never ran away. Nagosis Lindy. They stood there, they never ran away, and made sure that everybody was taken care of. Today, as women in the ANC, we must say we are proud of having worked with Ubabu Khabisi Mosunkuthu. As I said, he was a gentle giant, he was a gentleman, he was respecting even Nalabo Angabaz. He never said when Angwaz when Uvelapi, but he used to respect everyone of us. He made sure that 50% representation of women does not only become a lip service, but it does happen. And Nangempela, we do see that happening in the ANC, even in the deployment or in the election of any women within the structures. He made sure that that does happen. As MEC, your community safety, he made sure that Ikayale Temba becomes strengthened. Ilapane Bramfontein, it is one of those institutions that have been established to help us to fight gender-based violence. He made sure that there's privacy when women come and report their cases, those who can't go to a police station. He made sure that even the criminal justice system is available at Kayala Chamber so that a woman does not go to a John Foster Square, aphuma yongena magistrate court, aphuma yongena clinic, aphuma yongena, but all the services were available in one place, so that then a woman does not suffer secondary victimization when it comes to issues of gender violence. Sithi tutuzekani ninamdeni waka Babu Mosunkuthu, ikakhulu mama Nonqaba, tutuzeka mama wethu, siyazi ukuthi umongile ubaba uKhabisi ubugijima naye phansi phezulu. You made sure that he gets the best care that anyone will ever have. And even now those that discriminate against our people in the healthcare sector, you made sure that you become a voice of reason in ensuring that people do understand that it's not the health system that discriminates people, but impatho yabantu. Batho pili habuyo, mo babang baluna, baling mo health sector. So siyabonga kakhulu Mama Nonqaba for always educating us. Siyabonga kakhulu for always even teaching us to forgive and forget. Siyabonga kakhulu for being the woman who you are and making sure that Babu Khabs, even his last moments, you were closer to him. You made sure Nanoguti, he is taken care of and he is well taken care of. NgesiZulu City, go hamba amakawe, kosala ibong. Tutuzegani mdeni waka Nonqaba, tutuzegani ANC, tutuzegani nabo bonke ebenisondelene noBabu Khabs. Sithi uyibekile induku ebali. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Ngenxa yokuthetha inyaniso bayabulawa abafana bomkhonto.
The singer, so he has a city that is dedicated to elections. So or maybe 4 years.
After polls, okay. All right, sure. Comrades, as we continue the acknowledgements, acknowledge Comrade Nozipo Kyobeka Makeke, member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC Women's League, and the Chief Whip of the ANC in Gauteng Province, Comrade Masogisi Kanyele. Sox Kanyele, you are welcome, comrades. Comrades, as I call onto the podium, a veteran of the civic movement himself, Al Professor, Comrade Spiwetusi, I'll be calling on our leader, the General Secretary of COSATU, to say a few words, but not now, Comrade Peggy. After Comrade Aubrey, just to pay tribute, a few words nje. Nyeke sukiyeke ukhona. Abasebenzi bakhona bayakufila. Bafuna ukuthi Comrade Spiwe. Ushayipina tsawo tsetsa. Oliver, uJambo. Uchanda, shapina tsawo.
Amandla. Comrades, uComrade uthi mangicule. uComrade Billy uthi ngibambe ngikhulume. So angazi ngizomamela bani. but ngizomamela uComrade Billy Matsela. Comrade, ziyahamba insizwa kusala imisebenzi yabo eqotho njengale esikuyo namhlanje kaComrade Khabisi. Kodwa kokuqala before ngikhuluma ngifuna ukubonga umndeni kaKhabisi, umama wasekhaya ongayena nje umama kodwa umlingane kumzabalazo kaKhabisi, umgogodla wakhe owenza sure ukuthi uma ubuya ekhaya ephethwe inkinga zomzabalazo akwazi ukuthi babonisane naye baqhubeke phambili. Siyabonga mndeni wakaMtsukuthu ukuthi ngempela leli qhawe leli siyalazi, asilizwa ngoba bethi silazi izenzo zalo nezinto zalo nemisebenzi yakhe emihle ayenzile nakumakhanka akuyo asebenze kuyo. Lana njengoba ngikhulumela isanko ngizoqala ngikhulume ngeSoweto Civic Association lapho uKhabisi waparticipate khona, waqhubeka waze wafoma isanko lesikuyo namhlanje. Abantu abaningi abazi imisebenzi yakhe. uComrade Khabisi ungomunye kwathi la sibona khona ukuthi kufanelekile ukuthi senze umgogodla wabantu, a mass-based organization that will carry the needs of the people forward. It was not only a mandate from the communities of Soweto, but it was an overall mandate yabantu base South Africa yokuthi abantu abazi-organize kuma-community organizations. You must remember ukuthi in Soweto, by that time, we had a committee of 10, which was formed by our intellectual capacity comrades who were members of that committee of 10. And from community of 10, we sit down with those comrades, we discuss the way forward of making sure what this scheme of intellectual capacity that is carried out by the Committee of 10 and transform the knowledge in terms of organizing the communities to the structures of the community on the ground. Comrades, the Soweto Civic Association was also equally a mandate that was set as a process of a call that was made by our leader, Comrade Oliver Tambo, to say that our communities in South Africa must formulate the organization of communities on the mass base so that they can defend themselves against the system of apartheid by that time and make sure that the laws of apartheid, the policies of apartheid, the discrimination of apartheid, our people organize themselves to fight those processes. And as a result, we transformed the Committee of 10 to start a program that was make sure that the people of Soweto are organized. We selected a key comrades that went, and then they're known as a comrades who sat at the Rabonia meeting Those comrades which were led also by comrades like Masisulu, Popo Mulife, and other ones, Vali Musa, a number of comrades who were there. We were part of it as a youth by that time to make sure that we cement the program that is coming up in Soweto. It was a part of the Soweto Civic Association. And before it was formed, how this Soweto Civic is supposed to be formulated itself. It must be organized at all levels. Our people must be organized from home, from the yard, from the streets, from the blocks. And that's how the Soweto Civic Association was formed. It was not formed with the membership of now, today, where you set the branch, when you form it, you form under the 100 people. It was not 100 people. It was a massive of people formulated a branch in that area. And that was Soweto Civic Association. There was no area in Soweto which was not organized. It had key comrade and produced leadership. That leadership that was used for national programs, provincial programs, and the leadership that have led the African National Congress. Number of people, they don't understand that the Soweto civics around South Africa contributed an immense processes for our liberation. And they contributed to make sure that our people are free and recognized the legacy and the program that was there, that was directed by the African National Congress. At no stage, we did understand in the Soweto Civics meetings. Let me also say, indicate it to people here, how does the Soweto Civic Association was formulated. The structures of it. The mandate was coming from the street level to the blocks level, some to the yards, where there are yards, in the informal settlements and all those kind, to the blocks. And the blocks form a branch of the Soweto Civic. So branch was informed by the participants of these organs and make sure that they formulate a branch of Soweto Civic. Comrades, let me also say this. Guys, that make sure that this formation has got those kind of levels, like Comrade Khabs. They work tirelessly to make sure that those branches are formulated and those blocks are formulated and they respond accordingly. The messages are communicated to the people on the ground. And there was nothing that the apartheid structures can do in the whole of entire Soweto, because Soweto Civic was the only representative of the people in Soweto. We're definitely sure about it. Before you start to become a chairperson of a branch, you have to go to the ladder. You start at the street level, or in the block, or in the yard. And the people will understand you, your contributions. Before you can be acknowledged and participate on the branch level, it was an honor to become a chairperson of the branch in the Soweto Civic. There was no double up. There was no group of certain people. There was a process that was approved to make sure that you go forward. The organizational level that was done was a structure that you cannot penetrate and infiltrate it. If you come with any things that you are sent by the enemy, you are discovered at the early stage of yourself, because people will dictate you on the branch level, on the block level, and other areas. So that organization, if we can still use it and go back to it, will have an organization that cannot be infiltrated or be used by any enemy agents or people that they've got a destructive motive to destroy our organizations. We produce very key people. Can matching that, Comrade Abafana now, in number of other areas, we had key strategic comrades. If you go to a general council of the Soweto Civic, it was the festival of ideas mandated by their branch. And the arguments that were there in terms of taking things forward, the report of committees that were existing there, there were committees that were responding amicable to make sure that we protect the interest of our liberation. We produced a lot of cadres. And those who were produced by that time, some of them become national leaders of our revolution. Abo Comrade Khalim Muntlat was a deputy secretary in Dobsonville. Deputy secretary in Dobsonville. Yes, he became a president. But to us, in Soweto, he was a deputy secretary in Dobsonville. Comrade Thuli Madonsela was a secretary in Dlamini. So that is where very disciplined cadres were produced, because we had abantu abanjengabo Khabisi Mosunkuthu who were instrumental in terms of the revolutionary tactics, developments, capacity building, identifying comrades, and all those kind of things. We had a hub. That was Soweto Civic Association. The street committee was not only to organize people so that they can understand and stay together, but also the street committees produce, after we realized what happened with Solomon Mahlangu, and produce safe houses for the cadres of Umkhonto weSizwe when they come back home to work. They didn't come back to them, they came to the people that embraced them, so that they cannot be detected. They can work very clearly in terms of their operations. So we're not just a civic movement for the sake of organizing people, but we're carrying also the mandate that makes sure that is strengthening our liberation movements. So that was Soweto Civic. Soweto Civic was part of organizing the meeting of all the civic societies in the early 80s in Bloemfontein, where we formed an umbrella processes of all the civic national. Our first assembly was in Bloemfontein. And Comrade Khabs was instrumental to make sure that all civics are participating at that forum in Bloemfontein, and they are going down there. He coordinated the Transvaal, West Transvaal, Northern Transvaal, Eastern Transvaal. and make sure that they are all going to the conference in Bloemfontein. That was Comrade Khabisi. In the areas of the civic society, building a united front of all the civics. In 1992, we formed an umbrella body of all the civics in the Eastern Cape, where Comrade Khabisi and the other one were instrumental to make sure that there is a constitution and a guideline and the processes, policies are developed at that conference. Now, he didn't end up in the Soweto Civic, but he went further. In the meetings, when he tell you what is happening, Comrade Khabisi was articulated to tell you what is happening at Crow, what is happening in Val and other areas, the way he was organized in terms of the civic societies. Then we formed the SANCO in 1992. So what I'm saying is this man that we are here today, it's one of the most person that as a pillar of our revolution. Comrade Khabisi was disciplined in participating in the organization until his death. He was never involved in any conflicts. He's that type of a person. He always liked to see unity. He always liked to see people prosper. He always wanted to see people moving forward and all those kinds. We were fortunate in civics in Soweto because we had even to understand what is happening at the unity talks of COSATU. Because we had comrades that were participating in the unity talks of COSATU. So that is how this giant was also making sure that the role of the labor, you can't distance it from the role of the civic societies and the communities of our people. So Khabisi was very good in terms of mixing the process together and make sure that we move forward. During the UDF, that's why the Civic have contributed a lot on the United Democratic Front. So I wanted to say that we need such comrades. Let us work like Comrade Khabisi. Let us be selfless. Let us be honest. Let us be truthful. Let us make sure that we are disciplined in terms of taking forward our processes. Comrades, I can speak until in the morning about Comrade Khabisi. Amanda!
Comrade. You know, when somebody has swelled their hands and did a lot for the communities of Soweto, of the then Transvaal, Southern Transvaal, PWV, Gauteng, South Africa. and we have to listen to the person's history. In Ghana. But I think we must allow ourselves sometimes to absorb what the meaning of somebody's life is. Because it's important, when you come to pay tribute to somebody you know, you must eulogize the person. Perhaps was a unionist. He was a general secretary and later president of Porto, which later became the Communications Workers Union. Let's welcome to the podium the General Secretary of the Communications Workers Union, another son of Soweto, Comrade Aubrey Chabalala. Welcome, comrade.
Mandla, where Comrade Khabisi Kaulane Gopolo. Where Comrade Khabisi Kaulane Gopolo. Sabutanu Zabalaza, Sabutanu Zabalaza, Mosunkuthu kaulale ngokolo wena. My leadership kaulale ngokolo. Sabutanu zabalaza, sabutanu ingokele. Uzojoyini khosatu impimpi yachis umkashu yanangazi ayu yashisa lomzabalazo gobathi uzojoyini khosatu umkashu yanangazi ayu yashisa lomzabalazo gobathi Gobatina sobaba, Gobatina sobaba, 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 sobaba. Hey! Ayashisa, Gobatina sobaba, Gobatina sobaba, sobaba. Sobaba, sobaba, ayuya shisa lomzaba. Mandla. Thank you very much, Program Director, Comrade Jeff, Ubafundisi bonke, kuyanisana, sibingelele. More especially to the family of Comrade Khabisi Mosunkuthu, the General Secretary of the biggest federation undisputed in South Africa, which is COSATU, Comrade Challenger. The African National Congress, our home, the ANC leadership, NEC members that are here, PEC members, the veterans, led by Comrade Popos Mpo Town. Amabomfo, the Communist Party, led by Uche, Comrade John PC. Abashali, led by Comrade Spiwe Tusi. It was going to be more difficult, but I was rescued by the program director and the collective here that I should represent two heads, which was one COSATU and the other one was Communication Workers Union. So we then decided that COSATU will still come. Unopalo Mkhulu will then speak on behalf of the Federation. But I will still say that on behalf of the mighty Federation Central Executive Committee, representing almost 2 million members of this country who are workers, the voice of the downtrodden, and the family of Communication Workers Union, which is the brainchild of Ubabu Habs and his collective at the time. Allow me to pass our revolutionary greetings on our heartfelt condolences to all of you, in particular for Mosunkuthu and the family. Comrades, we are here not only to mourn, but to celebrate a life well lived of an upright and incorruptible leader of our people has indeed departed. He was one of the finest products of the trade union movement. And therefore, Comrade Begi, I would like, because I've seen that the organizers of this event have done so well. They've put their efforts and everything has been going very well. But I would like to apologize on their behalf that in this pamphlet, they did not include the Alliance logos. We think it will be corrected. We gathered here today, it's only a few weeks to go, comrades, before we commemorate or celebrate the birth of the African National Congress. The ANC, which was actually formed in a church. So we are not less lost as we are gathered here in the church to celebrate one of our stalwart, Comrade Khabisi. He had dedicated his entire life to service our people. He's a true embodiment of a unique alliance between the ANC, the South African Communist Party, and COSATU. And those who took shortcuts in our political school, and those who suffer from amnesia beginning to question why COSATU is in an alliance. But we'll reserve that for the next political lecture so that we guide them as to why we're in the alliance. We also want to draw lessons from his well-lived life. Comrade Khabisi understood that the alliance led by the African National Congress represents all the corners and the voices of the people. And through his lessons, one of the things that Comrade Khabisi did when he was leading Ipoto, there was a very funny march that our Comrade Begi were part of it. But I think it was relevant at the time. Their march, they were protesting against the introduction of cell phones. Very serious in their photos there, they were sweating, saying, I see phone lenta ma cell phone is operating savings. And it was ported towards to move towards it to be Communication Workers Union. But they were not entirely incorrect. But when I phoned them, Abu Comrade Bobs, Abu Comrade Louis Strongwane, Comrade Galusha, I'm sure some of them are here. I phoned them, I don't get them on this one cell phone, then I phone another cell phone. So it means that they have more than one cell phone today, as they were opposing it previously. But what is it that we have learned from that? Is that it was in the introduction of the Fourth Industrial Revolution that today we face. And as that struggle moves along, one of the fundamental things that they've done at the time was that Telkom must acquire Vodacom. And through that, Telkom became the most profitable and it employed many people. But then, unfortunately, there was another decision taken to sell Vodacom to the imperialists. We fought as COSATU. We went to courts and we were told that we are wrong, this is the correct move. And that led to a massive retrenchment of our people. So, in other words, workers in the Alliance are very important because are scientific in their research. When they give this mandate to the African National Congress, has been guided by Abu Comrade clubs previously, is what we need to use as our tools of analysis. Because workers all the time, what they told us 10 years ago, it becomes reality at the end of the day. So it's up to you to ignore it. But we should tell the truth, even heaven should fail at times. In the last days of Comrade clubs, we all read the articles in the newspapers. We all. It is a call by COSATU to say that we need to have an NHI in South Africa because the collapsing of our health institutions is because only less than 20% of the national budget goes to the 90% of the population that use Baragwana and others. And the rest of the budget goes to a mere 13% of the population that has medical aid, and we become surprised when our national institution at health level collapses. We should tell the truth. We must not be scared to criticize such, because it will be our only African National Congress that fails if it doesn't listen to those plight. So the call of the COSATU is still correct, that we need to have the NHI as a national health insurance scheme. We need to renew our values and traditions, guided on how Comrade Clubs and his colleagues before lived. We need to indeed campaign decisively going to 2019. And what we mean by campaigning decisive, COSATU conference was very clear. And when we talk about these things, we are normally criticized that there should be no blank check vote to the ANC. Then COSATU reaffirmed its support to the ANC, but it says no blank check vote. What does that mean? It means that the ANC must find its way of working for the poor and take our people out of poverty. That's what it means. And if we do not tell this truth, we will not be honoring Comrade Clubs. If we are still massaging each other's ego because we are sitting with leadership, we will not be honoring Comrade Clubs and will be trampling on their graves, those who have passed on. Let me also refer to what Alexander Kolansha said. What he says that, I quote, there are individuals, a mere handful individuals of mankind, who will themselves be a product of imminent catastrophic change, leave their mark upon the entire epoch. Lenin is one such giant. And I want to add that Comrade Clubs is amongst those greatest giants, the likes of Moses Kotane, Moses Mabita, Elijah Bakai, Vusi Kumar, Vusin Minas, Violet Sibon, and many others. We are saying that Hambagashi Comrade Clubs do pass our revolutionary greetings in our branch afterlife and give the message to O.R. Tambo, Mamsi Sulu, Adelaide Tambo, Nelson Mandela, and tell them that their children once more are hopeful, that the African National Congress we know is going to win decisively the next elections and is back on track. That in a scourge of the things that have been happening, we have seen a new dawn, which will begin to drive the African National Congress into a correct decision. Because we have to explain to voters unexplainable things that at the end led to the wide monopoly capital benefits. The collapse of Telkom as we know it today has been totally liquidated. The crumbling of Eskom, the shambles at SABC, the SAA that requires bail-in, bail-out every day. Let me take from what old Nelson Mandela taught us to do, that we must read the literature of an enemy so that we can understand the enemy. MacArthur, who was the commander of the Vietnamese War leading the USA, says that soldiers do not die. They just complete their task. Close quote. And I want to say that Comrade Khabisi has not died but multiplied. There must be many of Comrade Khabisi amongst us that will work so hard to build the African National Congress, strengthen the branches, not to do moonlighting, but to be with our people on the ground, with the workers in their factories, so that we make sure that we have a complete liberation of our movement. I'd like to thank you. Thank you very much.
Link check. Sekudala ma, dala sisebenzela, abasebenzi. Sekudala ma, abasebenzi. Amandla.
Amandla, Matla, Matimba, Aina, Manda, Asu, Program Director. Kubafundisi bonke abakhona ngokwahlukana kweyitulo zabo. Kumndeni wakaMosunkuthu nomndeni wakwaCivic. Ngithi angibonge kuba holi bam be-ANC neParty neSanko neKhosatu ukuthi nami nje ngizolahlela itshe esivivaneni. Angifuni ukuyona le ndaba ngoba umuke wabiza i-trade unionist ingapreparanga ukuthi izokhuluma, izokwenzela imhlolo ikutshele into bongayilindelanga. So yithi ngixoliseke ngabo ngingakakhulumi. Into yokuqala nje ngifuna ukuyisho eyokuyisho kumndeni ukuthi sibonge kakhulu ukuthi impilo kaComrade Hubs nivumile ukuthi ayishare nathi, ayishare nabantu baseNingizimu Afrika. Ungumzekelo ke esithanda ukuthi i-African National Congress ihlale icabanga lezinto esizozisho ngoba esikhathini esiningi siyiqiniso sizisho sibhekise kuComrade Khabisi ngoba yena niyamazi. When the African National Congress was banned and in exile, the people of South Africa decided to form any organization that must represent them. They formed United EUDF. Comrade Hubs was there. When workers were forming trade unions, former Iportwa, former Communication Workers Union, former COSATU, Comrade Khabisi was there. Ngikusho lokhu, comrade, because when he was doing these things, there was no prize for doing it. He was doing it for the love of his people. Into esijabulisa kakhulu ke ngama-trade unionist, iningi lawo awaveli kulezi ndaba ze-corruption, awaveli kule ndaba zamathenda. Lama-trade unionist aphuma COSATU asebenzela i-government, si-proud ngawo, ngoba kuzinto zamathenda ne-corruption awaveli. Ucomrade Habs uzolala ngoxolo, kodwa siyokwazi ukuthi angeke igama lakhe livele kule commission yakaZondo. So uyihambile indlela yakhe, he ran his race, program director. Unfortunately for ifamily nabo bonke abafundisi bazoyigcwalisela lento, the journey that he is now traveling is a journey that he has to travel alone. Noma ngabe ifamily beyithanda kangakanani, kepha le journey akuyo manje is the journey that he has to travel alone. Sithi ifamily ayimkhululu, comrade, azokwazi ukuthi alale ngoxolo. Wayethanda i-taxi industry, khona bathi wayeyizonda kabi into yama-taxi. Wayethanda abagibeli bakhona, ethanda ne-industry yakhona. Yingakho nje wayenza okusemandleni wakhe wonke ukuthi be safe, iqhubekele phambili. Sithi sibonga kakhulu ke ngemsebenzi yakhe. Sengihlala phansi ke ungaze uze program director. Ngiyazi eLimpopo, laba babuye eLimpopo, uma abantu sebefuna uhlale phansi bayishaya izandla. Wena ungacabanga ukuthi bathi khuluma kahle uqhubekele phambili kanti sebathi sesiyabonga. Nami ke before ngishayela izandla ithi ngisho lokho. Umlayezo esiwunikeza uComrade Habs, enesiyazi ukuthi uComrade oneqiniso. Uma bembuza ukuthi kunjani eSouth Africa, angoyiki ukuthi Comrade Madiba noComrade OR imisebenzi ayikho. Uma bembuza ngendaba ye-NHI, asho ukuthi ezimpilo ekhaya azihambi kahle. Uma bembuza nge-corruption, asho ukuthi i-commission kaZondo is working hard, amaqiniso ayavela. Uma uComrade Steve Shwete embuza ukuthi ibafana idlala kanjani, asho ukuthi asiqualify futhi, kodwa ibanyana iyaya ku-World Cup. Bese esho ukuthi ke siya kuma-election, sisebenza kanzima, siyathemba ukuthi ANC iyabalalela abantu. Asifuni ke thina ukumashela ANC, Comrade Faith. Asifuni ukuyikhumbuza ANC. ANC ayifuni mandate ukuthi sifuna i-6 month maternity. Akuwona umsebenzi wethu loyo. Umsebenzi we-government. I-Freedom Charter ikhona, asi-implemente without any apology. Amandla.
Sis, Amandla. Batethile abasebenzi. Babuyile basebenzi. Bara khona blank check. Mara khona le check. Mara hai blank. Check e re ANC victory. Ke check e. Hai blank. I sign a GS. Begging challenge, eh? I sign a comrade president. Losi, our president. Kio check iri abasebenzi will support the African National Congress through and through. Forward ever, backward never. Baba banchabar sabaitimba. Baba former Revolutionary Workers' Party. They are going to fail because the workers of South Africa support the African National Congress unconditionally. Amakomanis, please come to the podium. Marakiro wa itseba order. Ubone GS ushayila before ke ema fela wena velo so GS ushayila.
Yeah, no. Ke bone comrade chairperson. Negere ke tlobina yale nako e re shapile nka se bi. Amandla awethu matla aruna, long live the spirit of Comrade Khabisi, long live the Revolutionary Alliance, long live Amandla. No chairperson batho ba khathetse, I think first impa here Kitlalega comrade or keep like and comrade Parks were given Naguenyani, and these are the two political parties in the alliance. Indeed. Comrade Program Director, let me acknowledge the Provincial Treasurer of the ANC in the province, Comrade Parks Tau, and the entire PEC members present. The NEC members who are here with us, comrades, greetings to you. The chairperson of the Women's League, Comrade Faith Mazebugo. The Johannesburg region of the ANC and its alliance. The leadership of the Communist Party present here. COSATU leadership led by the General Secretary, Comrade Begin Chali. And let me acknowledge as well Comrade Obri Shabalala, the General Secretary of Communications Workers Union, the leadership of SANCO, led by Comrade Tusi, the leadership of the MKMVA, the leadership of the PYA, MECs, mayors, MPs, MPLs, and our councillors. Being a little bit from this comrade who are here with us, the leadership of the taxi industry, comrades and friends, but most importantly, comrade, let me greet the family of Comrade Khabisi. Mama, siyakubingelela emini yanamhlanje. Wena nabantwana and the entire family, as the Communist Party in the province, we are saddened by the passing of our own Comrade Khabisi Mosunkuthu. We used to call him a Stalin. He was a Stalin, he was a leader that would take decisions at times when things are difficult. He will apply the Stalinist approach for the meeting to progress. So the Communist Party in the province and its 59,000 strong members, we are greeting you. Comrade Program Director, there are a few points without wasting time that we want to raise. We want to celebrate the life well lived, the life of Comrade Khabisi Mosunkuthu, who left us during this festive period when most of the families are enjoying themselves. The Mosunkuthu family is mourning his passing, and we want to celebrate and honor him. Comrades, first, Comrade Mosunkuthu is passing on during this very difficult moment in our movement, in our revolution. As we approach the 2019 elections, which I'll talk briefly about, we want to dedicate this moment to Comrade Khabisi Mosunkuthu to say the ANC will retain its power in the province. As we celebrate and remember this fallen hero, this gallant fighter of the working class, the shop steward par excellence, the leader of the civic movement, we as the Communist Party, we want the new leadership and the new generation of leaders to emulate his style of leadership, his fearless style of leadership. We want to thank him for risking his life to serve our movement and our people in South Africa when it was not fashionable to be an activist at that time. Comrade Khabs never betrayed our revolution. No matter how difficult things he faced at times, he remained true to the principles of the Revolutionary Alliance that made him a selfless leader, an honest leader, a leader that is trustworthy, a reliable leader at all material times. Program Director Khabs was an embodiment of this Revolutionary Alliance. He served the workers diligently. He pushed the rights of workers and the poor in this country, and we want to thank him for that. As the SACP, we realized that something good about Comrade Khabs was then recognized by the then leadership of the Communist Party. Hence, he was not given a form to join, but recruited to the Communist Party. That is why his politics and his ideological understanding were sharpened by the Communist Party, and hence he was given deployment by the African National Congress because he excelled in his work. His Stalinist approach worked for him because he understood the dialectics and he understood the tools of analysis when he was facing challenges. He was a true disciplinarian. You may ask the taxi associations in our province, that is why they're here, because he managed to work very well with them. Comrade Khabs would have engaged the current debate of the reconfiguration of the alliance, no matter how difficult this debate is, but Comrade Khabs would have engaged with this debate. And we want to call upon our movement, particularly the leader of the movement, that we must never allow comrades who will ridicule this debate, because this debate is necessary. Comrade Oliver Tambo led together with Moses Kota, and our alliance was solid. Our alliance was never divided, because it understood the principles of this alliance. As we celebrate the life of Comrade Mosunkuthu, comrades, we must make sure that come 2019, comrades, the ANC retain its power. However, comrades, we want to call upon all of us, members of the ANC, members of the party, members of COSATU, members of SANCO, members of society must join us to make sure that door to door, it's a day thing that we must do every day until we have won the elections. We don't want to see the surprises of 2016, where our people do not want to go and vote because they are angry with one or two things. We must, at this moment, go and engage with our people, because Comrade Khabs, if he was here with us, he was going to do the same. Comrade Chair, allow me again to say that as the Communist Party, we are saddened by the treatment that Comrade Mosunkuthu received at Chris Anibaba. We want to call on all public servants in our province and nationally that the Batupile principles must apply, and it must not say who you are, but it must apply to all people of this country. Workers must at all material times understand their call of duty, that no one must be returned back home when they are sick. No one must be treated badly when they are sick. We want to call upon the trade union movement to also help us through the structures of the trade union in the hospitals and any other government institution where workers must understand the Batupile principles. Comrade, as I sit down, because of time, we want to thank you, the family of Comrade Khabisi, for allowing Comrade Khabisi to be the leader that he was, for supporting him during the difficult times, for allowing him to crisscross this province and the country to serve the people of South Africa. Mamnungaba siyabonga kakhulu, you and your family, for allowing Comrade Khabisi to be the leader that he was. And we want to thank the movement for entrusting Comrade Khabisi with so many responsibilities. And he served in those capacities diligently, and we want to thank him. We know, comrades, that Comrade Khabisi will definitely say to our martyrs, as we bid farewell to him, he will give a report back to say to the leadership that has departed, that Ziyajiga izinto. We are repositioning our movement to fulfill the mandate of the Freedom Charter. He will tell Moses Kotane and Oliver Tambo that we are busy working hard to ensure that this alliance does not collapse and die. We know that Comrade Khabisi will go back and tell the leadership and say, we, the current leadership, are going to make sure that what the leadership fought for in the past, we are going to continue to do with respect, and we make sure that the unity of the movement and the renewal of the movement is achieved. He will tell Chris Hani, Joe Slovo, Moses Kotane, Nelson Mandela, Governor Mbeki, Mama Albertina Sisulu, Mama Winnie Mandela, and many other martyrs of our movement who are no longer with us, and he will tell them that the ANC and our government is no longer captured by a foreign family from India. He will tell them that the Zondo Commission is currently busy to uproot corruption within the system and within our movement. We want to say to you, Comrade Khabisi, as we bid farewell to you, farewell our brother, farewell our comrade. We shall meet again, but we know your spirit will live with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Joe, the leader of the South African Communist Party. Comrades, with a very hot song, can you welcome the provincial treasurer of the ANC in Gauteng, Comrade Pakstow, who's also the president of all municipalities in the world, president of the Dimaspala, and president of the Dimaspala in South Africa. So, the mayor Ratsemo, the mayor. Let's welcome Comrade Pakstow.
Amandla,
Thank you very much, Program Director. A ke simolle ka go lebisa tlhompho go baruti, in particular the Zoe Bible Church, for hosting us and for enabling us to celebrate Comrade Khabisi's life in his spiritual home. Ke lebise mantswe matshidiso go ba lelapa, Sis Naps, the children, the extended family, but also his other family, the African National Congress, and indeed the entire liberation movement. Comrades and friends, we are here to pay homage to and celebrate the life of a consummate leader of our people, an activist par excellence, a freedom lover, Comrade Khabisi Mosunkuthu. I say consummate activist, for his life evinced that of an all-rounded freedom-loving South African. Indeed, as indicated, he was a trade unionist, for he used the workplace as a site of struggle, not only for the rights of workers, but for the freedom of the people of this country. This in an environment where being a union leader in a parastatal on its own was a sacrifice to the very job that you had. And you were almost immediately exposed at work to repression, suppression, and indeed all kinds of humiliation. When he left the workplace, the neighborhood became an extension of the site of struggle, as he organized his own community here in Pimville, in Soweto, under the auspices of the Soweto Civic Association. It is therefore apt that this memorial service takes place here in Pimville, Soweto. I say celebrated Soweto Civic Association, for in many ways, he and his comrades were at the forefront of the demand for integrated cities under the slogan, "One city, one tax base." No doubt in many ways, he himself is celebrated for his work after the democratic breakthrough of 1994. This as a member of the Provincial Executive Committee, amongst others of the African National Congress, and a representative of the people in the provincial legislature, and as a member of the Executive Council in the various departments that he headed. Inasmuch as we can bear testimony to his work to help us attain our freedom, we understand all too well that the gains of freedom can also be reversed. This can be reversed through misgovernance, through lack of probity, and indeed through political actions intended to undermine the freedom that we so seek to attain. I say we seek to attain our freedom, for if you look at the back of your program and what our demands for freedom were, we can comfortably say, we are not yet there. For as long as we live in a society where your access to opportunity is determined by your race, class, and gender, then we have not attained the objectives of our freedom. For as long as we live in a society where those of the African race find themselves earning a quarter of the income of their white counterparts, then we know that we still have not achieved our freedom. So for us, 1994 was a breakthrough to enable us to have access to the levers of political power to enable us to attain our freedom. And I know many start saying, well, we are free. We are free to vote, but we are not free from hunger. We are not free from poverty. We are not free from premature mortality. We are not free from the illnesses that afflict us simply because we are poor or simply because we are black. So for us to say we have achieved freedom, it is when we can calculate life expectancy of South Africans and you would not be able to say that this national group in our country is likely to live longer than this national group in our country simply because of their class status, then we are not free. We will only be free when we know that our opportunity to prosperity is equal and equitable. And that, therefore, is the task of the National Liberation Movement. Allow me, comrades, to indicate and affirm certain points that have been made that indeed the past year has enabled us to witness what the President called a new dawn. It has enabled us to have a number of epochal moments that we should celebrate in our country. For sometimes when you say it is epochal, it is when it is such a moment that takes you to the next level. And there are a number of epochal moments that took place in the latter parts of this year that I'll reflect on. So that when we look back at this year, when we say in this year where we lost amongst others Comrade Khabs, we were also turning the corner and introducing epochal moments in our society to enable us to advance the objects of the National Democratic Revolution. It should be that our judgment thereof is objective. Firstly, under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa, the government of our country hosted an investment conference to attract in excess of 100 billion rand into the South African economy. Now, to attract that much investment, both from local and international investors, is a sign of confidence in the leadership of the country, in as much as it is a sign of confidence in the future of that country. I therefore wish to contend that that on its own was an epochal moment. A moment that will enable our country to leapfrog towards the next levels of development that we so aspire towards. In the Gauteng province, under the leadership of Comrade David Makhura, our Premier and Chairperson of the African National Congress in the province, the provincial government hosted the Africa Investment Forum, where African countries, meeting with African businesses, attracting international investors, collectively made decisions about investing in the different parts of our countries. Many of these projects were private-led projects hosted by the provincial government to enable inter-Africa trade so that we as Africans can leverage off each other and help us grow our respective economies. It is at this conference where investors from different parts of the continent and indeed throughout the world came together and literally reached deals to finance and invest in certain projects. We have South African companies that are saying we will build houses in Kenya. We have South African companies that are saying we ourselves as South African companies will build a train in Ghana. And we have many other African countries that have said we will come to Gauteng and we will invest in ensuring that the Gautrain gets to Soweto. They have said that we are committed to ensure that Africa builds its first cellular phone in KwaZulu-Natal. This is the confidence of Africans in each other, saying that we have identified investment opportunities throughout Africa where we will invest in each other's economies. I therefore contend that this on its own indeed is epochal. However, being the civic being that I am, it would be remiss of me not to talk about at least Bikinyana ya Masipala or Boraspala. So our local authorities in the country a few weeks ago signed an agreement with the United Nations under the leadership of the South African Local Government Association to say that we as local authorities are committing towards the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals, and we see the United Nations as partners in the attainment of the global goals of fighting inequality, poverty, sexism, cities that are not integrated, environmental degradation and injustice. Our local authorities have said, we take it upon ourselves to be partners with the global community to ensure that we create a better South Africa and a better world. I say this is epochal because, in fact, I can say without a shadow of doubt, having been part of the first forum that was hosted by the United Nations to enable local government to articulate its commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals, I will paraphrase the Deputy Secretary General, Ms. Amina Mohammed, when she said to all the local authorities of the world, we as the global community need you as our local authorities to ensure that we can achieve the vision towards 2030 as espoused in the Sustainable Development Goals. I know but a few years ago, it would have been impossible for a United Nations leader to even say the word local authority. So for the Deputy Secretary General to say to local government, we, as the global community, need you as local authorities to ensure that we can collectively build a better world, is an affirmation of the progress that we are making in terms of governance and development. And that's when I say, when SALGA signed this agreement with the United Nations, on its own was a statement that says, we are now partners of the United Nations to create and build a better world for all. It is indeed another epochal moment. So if we combine these epochal moments through practice and action, we can indeed be able to say to Brachabs and to the legion of activists that he joins in the other world, that our commitment is to ensure that South Africa becomes and is the shining star of freedom, equity, equality, justice. It is in fact a celebration of humanity and justice. Because we can only celebrate his life through our actions. He committed his life to ensure that we can attain our freedom. So we should be able to celebrate his life by attaining what is written at the back of that program. As Comrade Nchali said, we cannot say the Freedom Charter was just a document. It was not only a set of demands, it was our vision of freedom. It was our articulation of what freedom means for all freedom-loving South Africans. So, to say we are free, to say that Comrade Khabs can sleep well where he is, will only happen when we put our collective energies towards the objectives of attaining this freedom. Let us celebrate him through our actions. Let us celebrate his life through our deeds. Let us celebrate his contribution through our activities. And let us ensure that South Africa is the place where everybody wants to live. Thank you very much.
Comrades, we are on the last few items. One key vote of thanks from the family Mukoni Atlemosteji. Comrade Ntombi, the announcements, please come forward. And then we're going to have, for the first time, Commemoration, Comrade Khabs, a song, just a preview of a song next year. Comrade William Teto, and then from there, Civic. Yeah, Shaira.
Viva Comrade Viva!
DJ. Can the owner of this card, I get to begin collecting DD25RJGP, Kukwaletse Mutu, Okupa Otswa. Okupa vote of thanks, Kantati Mukoni Mangwe. Comrade Ntombi, please follow the announcements.
Ke dumedise thuto kaofela, ke dumedise di members tse leng teng mo kaofela. Ke qale ka ho dumedisa.
Comrades, Amandla, high discipline, high moral, high discipline. Ke pare le re feng fela nakonyana re kwaleng comrades.
Ke lebe motsotso wa hao ntate. Ke kopa ho leboha ntate Moruti ho ya ka dithuto tse fapaneng. Hore fa support e re fileng yona. Ke lebohe mekgatlo ka ho fapafapana. ANC Youth League, ANC Women's League, le leader tsa tsona jwalo, COSATU, Sanco, ke leboha le baetapele ba tsona ba ntse ba di eteletse pele. ANC ke kopa hore ka mokgwa le re fileng support, especially the branch ya